connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Good Morning Idaho.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Idaho. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris. Hope you're off to a great start, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. We've got lots to get to from our large team of neighborhood reporters collecting more stories in our area than anyone else. In just a minute, our Greenlee Clark highlighting the housing crisis in Idaho and why small towns like Emmett are becoming very attractive destinations for young home buyers. Plus, a story new this morning, our Riley Shoemaker looks at domestic violence in our state. Kind of a deep dive here, and she's going to share the numbers that are likely even worse than they appear on the surface, unfortunately. Those stories are coming up and much, much more. But first, let's get the latest on our nice fall weather. Sophia Cruz joins us. Hey, the weekend is right around the corner. The Kiwanis Chili Cook-Off in Emmett coming up tomorrow. I will be a judge there. I can't wait for that. They also do Bloody Marys. I'm going to be judging all that stuff. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, those two together just sound
perfect.
Like an interesting pair for me personally, but it'll be a lot of fun, especially because the weather will be super nice for the weekend. Now, either way, as we wake up this morning, it is still pretty chilly, so grab the light jacket. 44 over at the Village of Meridian. People are starting to wake up and head out, and pretty soon we'll see that sunrise come about. If you're heading there today, perfect weather. But I will say, if you have a garden or maybe you have a farm and your crops are out, just a heads up, we have a frost advisory in place. So that's what you see here in this gray color. You've got anywhere between 33 to 36 for our lows, and this is going to be for today and tomorrow morning. So this is expected to last through 9 a.m. So just a heads up, especially if you've been working on your garden. Through the day ahead, pretty chilly start. You've got 48 all the way through 10 a.m. By lunchtime, mid-50s and then 60s into this afternoon. So it's going to be perfect outdoor weather, just a bit sunny and breezy ahead.
You want to come join me for some chili on Saturday?
Chili and Bloody Mary?
And Bloody Marys?
Oh, I'm still recovering from my last weekend, so.
I'm going to have a good time this weekend. Everyone come out and join me, all right? Thanks, Sophia. Appreciate it. Let's turn to the news now, and our Greenlee Clark highlighting how one family in Emmett was able to buy their first home with just $500 down, and the unlikely place that they bought it. Check this out.
Imagine showing up to a yard sale and leaving with the keys to the whole house. That's what happened to one young family in Emmett, thanks to an affordable down payment assistance program. I'm your Emmett neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, learning why Gem County Housing is attracting new home buyers.
Amber Moffitt and her husband weren't out home shopping when they stumbled upon the deal of a lifetime.
We came to a garage sale and the owners are like, "We're selling the house." It's a lot better than living in a big city in terms of prices and in terms of what you can get for what you pay.
Recent market data from Boise Regional Realtors shows Gem County's median single-family home price around $435,000 as of September, significantly lower than Ada County's $555,000.
This is a 2-acre parcel with a 1,500 square foot house, so over in Ada County, it's really hard to purchase something like that with this price range.
The Moffitt family was able to move quickly through the Idaho Housing and Finance Association, which allows qualifying buyers with reliable income and a credit score of at least 620 to buy a home with as little as $500 down.
If we would have had to save up for something like that, we wouldn't have been able to move for a couple more years.
On a walk around the property, Amber shows what first drew her in.
So what's your favorite part about the home?
Definitely the outdoor space. It's amazing, and the previous owners did an amazing job of cultivating it and making it absolutely beautiful.
Local realtors say that's exactly what's attracting young homebuyers to areas like Emmett.
If we maintain the small town feel that everyone loves in Emmett right now, and we continue to grow, it's going to do nothing but improve our school system, the resources here for kids.
I think it's really nice for a young family to kind of be out of the hustle and bustle of the city and be able to have a place for the kids to play outside.
Emmett continues to grow, with the city currently considering a new subdivision that will bring more than 90 new homes. A public hearing for this project is set for October 28th. I'm your Emmett neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, for Idaho News 6.
News of a new Qatari Air Force contingent coming to Mountain Home Air Force Base has made international headlines. And this week, Idaho News 6 talked with the mayor of Mountain Home and military leaders to learn more about the plans to host foreign F-15s. We also talked with local residents to get their reaction. And we'd love to hear from you on the Idaho News 6 Facebook page. A spokeswoman for the city of Mountain Home tells us a deal to host the pilots has been finalized, but it'll be another 5 years, actually, before they arrive. And the extension of the deal is expected to happen in 5-year increments. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new details, and you can find all our coverage on idahonews6.com.
Good morning, Idaho. I'm downtown Boise neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker here at the Ada County Courthouse, where in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, dozens of survivors, advocates, and healthcare workers took to the streets taking steps against domestic violence.
Domestic violence doesn't always look the same. It can be physical, emotional, financial, or controlling behavior that isolates someone from the people they love. The Women's and Children's Alliance says last year, Ada County law enforcement responded to more than 4,500 calls related to domestic violence or sexual assault. But advocates say those numbers barely scratch the surface because so many victims never report what's happening behind closed doors.
Abuse or harm or violence is a conscious decision on a person's own part to commit that violence. And so the person that ends up being the victim is not to blame.
Sexual assault and domestic violence nurse Ann Wardle says her team meets survivors in their most vulnerable moments, providing safety, reassurance, and connection to resources that can help them rebuild.
My hope is that they leave with more courage than they came in with.
She says even one conversation, asking a friend or family member, "Are you safe at home?" can make a difference. Meanwhile, Ada County Sheriff Matt Clifford says awareness, but the journey for survivors is still far from easy.
If this were a real walk for a victim, it would have fences to climb over and flames to walk around and tar pits to wade through.
Sheriff Clifford says those barriers are why it takes an entire community, from law enforcement to advocates to neighbors, to help survivors move forward and know they're not alone.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, help is available 24/7. You can find those resources in the story on idahonews6.com. I'm downtown Boise neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, Idaho News 6.
A massive airlift on the western coast of Alaska as rescuers evacuate hundreds of residents battered by the remnants of Typhoon Halong.
Yeah, it has really been a Herculean effort.
New video shows the moments an Air Force C-17 arrived in Anchorage, Alaska. Extreme winds and storm surge knocked down homes and flooded communities. A pair of isolated coastal villages were hardest hit. One person was killed in the storm, and at least one woman is unaccounted for. Officials are racing to find temporary housing for residents in Fairbanks and Anchorage, with winter right around the corner. Experts say it's too late in the year for these remote communities to rebuild.
It was a packed house Thursday afternoon as Middleton neighbors expressed strong opinions about the proposal to expand city limits into this existing farmland that's currently considered county property. I'm your Canadian County neighborhood reporter Victoria Rodriguez explaining the area of impact plan and why neighbors are concerned for the future.
Council warned, excuse me.
Middleton city leaders proposed land north of Purple Sage Road for the city to expand in the future. The area is largely made up of county farmland and is home to many local farms.
I beg, I plead of you, keep the boundaries as they are. Please don't expand them because none of the farmers out there want them. I am one of those farmers.
All the way up to Galloway, you're growing corn out there that they're going to make silage to feed the dairy cows, which produce milk.
Farmers and longtime residents say the plan directly affects their livelihoods, with concerns about how new homes in commercial areas could impact irrigation, crop production, and the quiet rural nature of the community.
Here is in the top 5 of the world for certain crops in agriculture. So I'm just going to give you the challenge to please give agriculture the respect it deserves.
Others raise concerns that the area may not realistically support growth within the typical 5-year plan because of limited sewer capacity and overcrowded schools.
Roads, schools, and emergency services are already stretched. I think they can't absorb that much growth that quickly.
Roberta Stewart from City Planning and Zoning told residents that the city is looking north because of pressure from developers. Many residents challenged that approach.
That is not the way you conduct land use in this community.
Residents are urging county commissioners to slow down and carefully review the proposed expansion, saying the city's push north of Purple Sage Road prioritizes development over farmland, schools, and community infrastructure.
The stated mission of this commission is to serve the public with honesty and integrity, provide affordable and efficient government services, promote values that ensure quality of life for the present and future generations of Canyon County. The expansion of Middleton's AOI north of Purple Sage seems to go against almost every word in that sentence.
These conversations will continue with Canyon County commissioners on October 29th. Reporting in Middleton, I'm your Canyon County neighborhood reporter, Victoria Rodriguez for Idaho News 6.
Early voting is already underway at the new Canyon County Elections Building. If you live in Ada County, you're going to have to wait until next week. If you'd rather vote by mail, though, the deadline to request your absentee ballot is next Friday. Put that on your calendar. And this as well, Election Day, as usual, November 4th.
A vote to reopen the government fails for a 10th time. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details as the government shutdown stretches on.
Back on a Friday morning, it is 13 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at your national headlines today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is visiting President Trump at the White House later today. Zelensky is expected to ask for air defense systems and also those Tomahawk missiles with enough range to strike Moscow. Trump has floated the idea of providing them in the past. He also says he plans to meet with President Putin from Russia in Hungary to discuss ending the war. Meanwhile, India is pushing back against President Trump's claim that it agreed to stop importing Russian oil. Trump said Indian Prime Minister Modi assured him that India would stop buying Russian oil, but India's foreign ministry says it's not aware of any such conversation or assurance. Trump has imposed tariffs on India as a penalty. And Senate Republican leaders are considering taking up a bill as soon as next week to pay federal workers affected by the shutdown. Until now, Republicans held off on voting to pay workers. 60 votes would be needed for it to advance, which would require bipartisan support. In the meantime, however, millions are continuing to work without a paycheck, and lawmakers remain at a standstill when it comes to reopening. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio brings us the latest.
This morning, frustrations are growing from leaders on both sides of the political aisle after a vote to reopen the government failed for a 10th time. The major sticking point, extending tax credits for the Affordable Care Act.
There's a path forward, I believe. But yes or no? But it has to include reforms. And can I guarantee an outcome? No.
The American people are facing one of the most devastating crises they have faced in terms of cost. And we still have not heard crickets out of any negotiation with Johnson or with Thune.
Families and small business owners say they're feeling the impact.
This doesn't have to be something that gives people, keeps people up at night and gives people anxiety, because it really shouldn't be. It's not really a partisan issue.
Democrats are adamant against reopening the government unless Congress takes up two healthcare-related sticking points, restoring both Republican cuts to Medicaid and restoring the Obamacare subsidies. Republicans insist on passing a basic spending bill and debating the healthcare issues later. Experts warn if Democrats and Republicans can't reach a deal, nearly 20 million Americans like Ronnie Moss could see their premiums skyrocket.
It might be a matter of what bills will be paid. What groceries can be purchased. That's plainly what that is for me.
As the government shutdown stretches on, nearly 750,000 workers have been furloughed and another 4,000 have been laid off. And the administration is now threatening to double the amount of firings. Those additional layoffs may have to be put on hold after a judge in San Francisco ordered the administration to stop firing people during the shutdown. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, happy Friday, Broncos. You are our neighborhood of the day. And as we head into this afternoon, we've got mid-60s and breezy winds, but plenty of sunshine. I'll have the rest of the weekend ahead.
Sophia Cruz with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Okay, it is 6:18 and thanks for starting your Friday morning with us. It's nice to see your face as we make our way through our Friday together. It is going to start off pretty chilly, and right now over downtown we're sitting at about 44. We've got a few commuters heading out and starting their Friday early, but as far as this afternoon goes, we'll be stopping at the mid-60s, so we're just at seasonable. 65 over in Boise, 64 into Mountain Home. And if you're moving through our mountains this afternoon, maybe heading up there for the weekend, it'll be nice, but just a bit chillier there. So upper to mid 50s across those areas. Breezy winds will follow us again. It'll be a little bit calmer to start off in the Treasure Valley, but as you start to head over into the Magic Valley between Twin Falls and Burley, wind gusts getting anywhere upwards towards 25 miles per hour by this afternoon and into that later afternoon ahead. We start to see a calm area wide, but there will still be a few breezy spots on the board. Saturday looks a lot less breezy. We get those calmer winds. A few gusty spots still hold up in Baker City and across McCall, but overall, the weekend forecast looks pretty good. So today, we stop at those mid-60s. Tomorrow, just a slight cool down at about 64. Into Sunday, that's almost our next chances of rain, sitting at about 30%. So not the heaviest rainfall we'll be looking at, but there is going to be some moisture on the way for the weekend. Good news is it's not arriving at game time, so if you are heading out to the game tomorrow, the weather looks pretty good. You will want to carry the light jacket with you. At kickoff, we're sitting at about 56. It'll be nice and sunny. Halftime, we're barely touching into those 60s, and then by the time you're heading home from the game, or maybe you head out for a late dinner, 5:30, lower 60s. Still nice sunshine out there, but carry the jacket with you anyways. As we head into Sunday, here's what our rain chances look like across the board. It looks lowest along our valley floors, where it's about 30 to 40% chance of rain. Moving upwards towards our mountains, this is where it grows a little bit heavier. So the focus of this moisture will just be up towards our north in McCall and as you head up to Cascade. Right now, what we're looking at happening is this upper level ridge build over the Pacific Northwest. This cold front doesn't do very much for us except for bringing on those breezy conditions we'll see into this afternoon ahead. As far as tomorrow goes, not very many changes coming besides those nice clear skies, which is a pretty good day for game day weather. Behind this, though, we're going to see that cold front move through. This will be a Sunday afternoon, bringing in all of those increasing clouds behind it, some rain and some mountain snow to follow. That'll keep things pretty cold into Monday and Tuesday. And even though you see this area of high pressure build in, what this really does for us is just bring about those nice clear skies. So not going to really do too much for our temperatures until we head into the middle of next week. For tomorrow, overall, if you have any outdoor plans, this will be the best day for it. You've got calm winds to start off and also just a nice sunny day ahead. But you kick off the day on Saturday with 37, by lunchtime lower 50s, and then into the afternoon ahead 60s. We stop at about 65 tomorrow afternoon. So pretty similar to today. Again, the weekend ahead, there's not too much to say other than that trickle of rain coming in for Sunday. So if you do have any outdoor activities, just do them on Saturday so you can beat that rain and really just avoid, even though it's a small chance. You get to 64 by Sunday. That'll cool us down to 57 on Monday. And then into next week, we get that nice stretch of sunshine with a few clouds mixing in through our Thursday, but mid-60s into Thursday and Friday. So not too much to say about the forecast ahead, but some nice weather is for sure on the way. If you want to read more about the forecast, head on over to IdahoNews6.com.
We take a closer look on what's on the line with the open space levy. I'm up here at Hillside to Hollow Reserve to illustrate what voters will decide with the open space levy in November. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Dent. And on one side, we've got the reserve with people and their dogs. And on the other side is a residential area. In 2013, the city of Boise purchased 258 acres using funds from the 2001 levy. And in 2019, they purchased an additional 8 acres thanks to the 2015 levy to build this parking lot and trailhead. Combine that with a partnership with the Land Trust of the Treasure Valley, and Boise residents have an outdoor playground at the Hillside to Hollow Reserve.
I come here usually twice a day.
I hiked up this ridge to show you what the reserve could look like without the levy, as the city uses the funds to preserve these areas for everyone to enjoy, when the alternative would be developing this land, as the reserve is surrounded on all sides by housing. Brent Kidder voted for the previous 2 levies, and he's already voted yes on this levy.
it's just such a resource that the city of Boise has. It's amazing that they did this, and look what it purchased us.
Hillside to Hollow is just one example, as one of the newest reserves opened 2 years ago. The city purchased 400 acres from the first levy for the Hawkins Reserve, which features a 6-mile directional loop trail that I enjoy as a cross-country hike or ride.
Obviously, I'm one of the people that just loves things like this, and I love it that I live in a community that says it's important. We're looking at what our kids and what our grandkids are going to have, and once these things are developed, you lose it.
In total, the city manages 15 reserves from Camel's Back to Military Reserve, Table Rock, Holes Gulch, Polecat. They purchase land around Stack Rock. Funds from the levy also go towards parks, improvements, and enhancing clean water.
Hi, Chief.
But many of the open spaces and land preserved for recreation in the foothills have happened because taxpayers have approved levies.
It's just such a small investment in money for the people that are homeowners compared to what we as a community get out of it. That's why I voted yes on it.
The Clean Water and Open Space Levy asks for $10 million, which comes out to nearly $10 per $100,000. So if approved, the average home price in Boise at $500,000 would pay $50 in 2026 and $50 in 2027. The levy will pass or fail with a simple majority. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter Steve Dent for Idaho News 6.
Our gorgeous foothills. Thanks for joining us this morning on Good Morning Idaho. Happy Friday, everyone. We've got a lot more in store in our last half hour, though, this morning. Here's what's still to come from your neighborhood reporters.
In Caldwell, fall weather is finally here, but see the preps already underway for this year's Winter Wonderland.
At Boise State, how this new dorm hall is helping the growing university keep up with the demand for on-campus housing.
Now we'll look outside from the Treasure Valley Chevy Dealers Tower Cam.
Connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Good Morning Idaho.
Hey everybody, good to have you along on a Friday morning. Welcome to Good Morning Idaho. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris. Lots to get to this last half hour from our team of neighborhood reporters. Let me tell you about it. Coming up in just a moment, Isaiah Sharp heads up to Bogus Basin where skiers and snowboarders wondering when the season will officially open. Sophia's stoked. After a promising first bit of snow this past weekend, you know, everyone sees that and they start getting ready. Also, our Leslie Solis brings us to Indian Creek Plaza where Caldwell City Parks and Rec skipping over Halloween and heading right into Christmas. They're getting all those lights ready to go, and it always looks fantastic. Some of the best lights ever. But first, let's get the latest on our weather with Sophia Cruz. It's going to be a nice day, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready to skip Halloween too if we can get to ski season. Not Thanksgiving though. If it opened by Thanksgiving weekend, that would be perfect because you could have your Thanksgiving meal and then head up to the slopes. Maybe wait bit after that though. However, this morning for the kiddos heading into the bus stop, it's going to be a really good Friday. It will start off chilly, so grab the light jacket. You'll be at lower 40s as you head into school. By the time you're heading home, we'll sit at about 62. Nice, sunny, a bit breezier again, but overall it's just a nice start to the weekend. It's nice, cool weather. And you said you're going to the chili cook-off this weekend, Roland. Hopefully that goes well and it settles in your tummy okay.
Yeah, chili and Bloody Marys in Emmett starting at 2 o'clock this Saturday. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come join me, everyone. All right, thanks, Sophia. Let's talk a little skiing now because Bogus Basin is on everyone's mind. And the question riders across the Treasure Valley are wondering is when is it going to open? While future weather is not certain, of course, trends are looking toward an early opening day. And Isaiah Sharp talks with experts to bring us a tentative prediction.
The first flakes of the fall season have flown at the top of Bogus Basin. Exciting stuff, but what does that mean when it comes to ski season? I'm Isaiah Sharp talking with leaders at the resort about when we could be hitting the slope soon.
We watch social media just explode at those first few flakes.
This week, the first snowfall of the season at Bogus Basin is making many in the Treasure Valley itching to strap on the skis and snowboards.
It's always an exciting time.
General Manager Brad Wilson says in just a few weeks, we'll be hitting the slopes.
We are set up, our pond is full, our guns are out and in place. So as soon as it goes, we push the button and winter comes.
Wilson tells me they no longer need to rely on Mother Nature. Snow guns and trail grooming technology allow the resort to open before snow is even forecasted. All they're waiting on now is colder overnight temperatures.
It's about 27 degrees and relatively low humidity. We'll start making snow. It's probably about a week of snow making before we can get a trail open. You know, we need about a foot of machine-made snow on the trail to get open, which isn't very much, but that snow is very dense and holds up really well. So it's a brave new world, and we're not just sitting here waiting for the flakes to fall out of the sky.
That has the resort on track to open around its usual start date on Thanksgiving week. Of course, natural fresh powder is important for a good ski and snowboard season, so I spoke to Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval about this year's La Nina winter and what it means for that extra powder.
It's always so hard to tell how much snow we're going to get for a particular season, but when we have La Nina, it points us in the right direction. It puts us a little bit more favorable for that above normal snowpack, and so we're headed in the right direction.
A big announcement for season pass holders. If you do have a season pass at Bogus Basin, you're going to have to pick up your RFID at the downtown office. They don't want you waiting in line for too long up here at the top of the resort, so if you have some time, make sure to pick up that new RFID at the downtown office. They're open 7 days a week as well. Want to make sure you hit the slopes quickly. At Bogus Basin, I'm Isaiah Sharp for Idaho News 6.
You might have Halloween decorations in mind, but in downtown Caldwell, things are already transforming into a real-life winter wonderland. I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis, tagging along with Caldwell Parks and Rec as they race the clock, stringing millions of lights to bring holiday magic to Indian Creek Plaza. It's that time of year when crews in Caldwell are racing to beat the holiday clock. The city's Parks and Recreation Department is setting up for what they call the most wonderful time of the year.
Parks Department just knocks it out of the park with setting up the lights.
They tell me transforming Indian Creek into a real-life winter wonderland takes months of planning and preparation.
Probably midsummer we start planning, making any adjustments that we need, ordering any other parts or lights or anything like that, and it starts going into effect September 1st.
So I'm out here with crews to see what it really takes to string over 1 million shimmering lights, blanketing trees, twinkling across bridges, and dancing along buildings, turning the city into a glowing holiday dream. As residents walked through the area, they couldn't help but get into the holiday spirit.
It's so fun. I figured it was almost time for this.
Christmas means a lot here in Caldwell. It just brings the community all together.
It truly is like a Hallmark movie out here.
Rain or shine, the Parks and Recreation team makes sure everything gets done on time.
Come out and they mark every single tree. We have a digitized system that we use so they can reference that and they can make any alterations or changes that they need.
Superintendent Tim Rhodes tells me this year's Winter Wonderland will still feature all the favorites, including animatronics and everyone's favorite, the fire-breathing dragon.
But they really, over the years, have found the perfect way to install these so it looks the best, it's sustainable, and it lasts all season long.
Winter Wonderland will open to the public at the end of November. I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis for Idaho News 6.
Idaho's homegrown Tree Fort Music Festival is famous for bringing in bands you know and many more that you're going to want to know. As organizers gear up for the spring, they've dropped the first round of artists coming to Julia Davis Park this year, including acts like Magdalena Bay, Geese, Flip Turn, and Father John Misty. Samia and Nimino will make an appearance, and you can even catch Idaho star Maddie Zom. Look for a link to the full list on our website, idahonews6.com.
Tomahawk missiles are potentially on the line for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as he visits President Donald Trump at the White House today. They have a long enough range for Ukraine to strike Moscow.
Exactly such pressure may work for peace.
Trump is floating the idea of providing Tomahawks to Ukraine. He says he mentioned that to Russian President Vladimir Putin in a phone call yesterday.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea.
Trump says his phrasing was lighthearted. He also says he plans to meet with Putin in Hungary to discuss bringing the war to an end.
The president feels like great progress was made on this call. They also agreed to have a high-level senior staff meeting convened as early as next week.
Critics say Trump could do more to put pressure on Russia.
Increase sanctions, increase toughness as it relates to the oil, increase the weapons that go to Ukraine.
They don't want Putin getting another photo op with Trump without Ukraine getting peace.
If you make Russia vulnerable, they will negotiate at the table. If you don't, they'll just keep kicking the can down the road with you. Putin's playing, in my view, Trump right now.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
I'm Boise State neighborhood reporter Ali Tripke, and behind me is the newly completed Syringa Hall. After 2 years of construction, it now houses over 450 first-year students, a crucial part in accommodating the university's largest freshman class.
Welcome to Syringa. We're on the 6th floor, and this is the main lounge area.
Second-year student Jorge Montoya gave me a tour of the brand new Syringa Hall, where he works as a resident advisor.
Here we have the Syringa room. So on this side, we have an unlofted bed. It gets more community focused, whereas in honors, it was kind of like everyone was doing their own thing.
As Idaho News 6 reported, the university broke ground on the 100,000 square foot building in fall 2023. Now it's home to 452 students who get to wake up every day in the center of campus.
To where the residents will have easy access to the student union, the library, other housing communities. It's also slightly taller. It's a 6-story residence hall, taller than some that are also on campus.
Drew Alexander works with campus operations and says their surrounding facilities are already seeing an increase in foot traffic since the dorms opened.
But we're seeing the Greenbelt have higher usage. We're seeing the library get higher usage, dining facilities in the student union. Just in these first few weeks, it's been really good early feedback.
Well, I'm part of Beta Alpha Psi, and being on campus allows me to go to a lot of different meetings, meet a lot of employers, make study groups, hang out with friends, talk to professors a lot more easily than, say, I was living off campus.
Students can expect to see improvements and more bike parking coming to the open space along the Greenbelt in between the library and Syringa Hall. I'm Boise State neighborhood reporter Ali Tripke for Idaho News 6. And on the blue, Boise State football will host the Idaho Vandals in 2030. It's the same story, longtime rivals that haven't played each other in a decade. The last time they met was back in 2015, and Boise State won 52-0. And it's another sellout for Albertson Stadium this weekend as your Boise State Broncos get ready to host UNLV. Both teams are undefeated in Mountain West Conference play. UNLV is a perfect 6-0 this season. If you're headed to the stadium, Boise State says wear black and consider taking a shuttle to avoid parking challenges. Kickoff is set for 1:30 Saturday.
It is a huge game this weekend. All right, let's take a look now at what's happening in your neighborhood today at 20 minutes before the hour. For the first time in over a decade, the Boise State men's basketball team will take on the University of Idaho in a special exhibition game in Boise that's going on tonight. The state's two biggest four-year public universities have played 89 times over the last 54 years, but this will be their first matchup since 2014. Tickets are still available. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. at Idaho Central Arena. That'd be fun to see. Downtown Boise Association celebrating its 15th annual Taste of Downtown starting today. Over 40 establishments participating, offering exclusive $14 or less specials, social hours, and unique culinary experiences. Taste of Downtown runs through the 26th, and you can check downtownboise.org for vendor-specific specials. And ACHD's annual Name a Plow contest is underway, looking to the community for some fun and creative ideas. Love hearing these names. Some popular comments under their Facebook post this year include Taylor Drift, No More Mr. Ice Guy, and Scooby-Doo. If you have a name idea yourself, you can submit it through the 22nd. Just head on over to achdIdaho.org/nameaplow.
In this week's Made in Idaho, Gutters Are Us, as they expand from gutters to permanent holiday lighting.
The Idaho News 6 Allergy Report is brought to you by Boise Valley Asthma and Allergy Clinic.
Okay, an update to your allergy count. We are still in that high category for sage. Taking a look at our other allergies, we got Kinopod in that low category. So we are still, again, just monitoring that sage amount just because that's been high even as of yesterday. It's something we'll continue to monitor as we head through our week together.
Days are getting shorter, holiday decorations are coming out, and several upcoming holidays show up better at night. In this week's Made in Idaho, I'm speaking with Gutters R Us as they install permanent lighting on my house, and as the owner Melissa Dawson likes to say, the first 12 inches are always free.
We started with gutters, we have evolved into fascia, soffit, and now into permanent lighting.
That decision came after years of reinvention. Before gutters and construction, Dawson served in the Air Force, then found herself enrolled in culinary school.
I opened the Old Chicago at the mall and then transitioned into a landscaping company after the restaurant business.
Living life with her mind in the gutters, Melissa tells me she judges utilities everywhere she goes.
I'm obsessed with all gutters in the valley. You cannot take me golfing, in a car, watch a TV show. I am critiquing your gutters.
So much so, when Melissa came to give us our estimate, she quickly spotted a small leak, which her team fixed right up before adding a new downspout and installing the lights. As summer fades away and leaves begin to fall, it's time to light up for the holiday season. Melissa now offers permanent holiday lighting through a product called Jellyfish Lighting, built from the same material as the gutters themselves, giving each home a clean, finished look.
Jellyfish lighting is actually made out of gutter coil. So we are already up on ladders, on roofs, so it just seemed like a natural transition for us to go into the lighting realm.
We've had more people wanting bids on lights. Obviously, even coming into the holiday season, they don't want to keep on putting up Christmas lights.
From my home here in Nampa, I'm your Nampa neighborhood reporter, Keith Burrell for Idaho News 6.
Okay, Sonny is back from holiday. He was on PTO.
Sonny the weather bear.
Yeah, he was on PTO last week.
If you hadn't heard about this, is our new thing.
Yes, he is going to help the kiddos get ready for the school day, and it's Friday. So he also says TGIF. Now, as you head out, don't forget the jacket, because as you're waking up this morning, it is going to be pretty chilly. So take a look at his forecast. It's his first one, so you got to. It props to him because it's pretty good.
Right?
40s to start the day. By the afternoon, 60s into dinner time, a little bit breezier.
Lovely.
So nice weather to kick off our Friday.
Sophia Cruz with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Okay, happy Friday to you, and thanks for starting another morning with us. It's 6:48, and as you get ready to head downtown, a few commuters starting to make their way out on this wonderful Friday morning that we get to spend together. 44 as you head out, though, so do grab the light jacket. Taking a look at this afternoon, we're just at seasonable, so it's going to be a good day ahead. You've got mid-60s along those valley floors, mid-50s to follow along in your mountains. Now, yesterday was a bit breezy. Today will also be breezy. Taking a look at our Magic Valley, we'll see some gusts up to 25 miles per hour today in those areas. By 6 o'clock, it starts to calm out there, and then into tomorrow afternoon, nice light winds across our valley floors. A little bit gustier off into Baker City, where some gusts will sit at about 20 miles per hour. But overall weekend, it looks good on the forecast. Today we'll be sitting in those mid-60s. Tomorrow, just a degree difference, about 64. Still nice and clear. Notice though that your morning lows drop to about 37. Tomorrow we still have that frost advisory in place. Into Sunday, your morning lows, thankfully, start to bump up a bit. You get to about 46 Sunday morning, 64 by the afternoon, and a slight chance of showers sitting at about 30%. The good news is for game day, it's still going to be nice weather. Very sunny, light winds, perfect game day weather. By kickoff, it'll be about 56. Heading into halftime, lower 60s, and then by the time you're maybe heading out into downtown, you've got 63 for that drive home. So pretty nice and sunny through the day ahead. We will see those shower chances start up again on our Sunday. Behind that, we've got between just about 30 to 40% chance of rain along our valley floors, sitting highest along Baker City into McCall and even Stanley, where rain chances get anywhere up towards 80%. Right now, what we're looking at is happening is an upper level ridge building over our atmosphere. So that area of high pressure moving in. As it does, it warms up our temperatures back near that seasonable mark for this afternoon and into tomorrow. But because of this cold front and the system up towards our north heading over into Canada, we are going to see that pressure gradient at the surface tighten, which is why you have those breezy winds still. As as this starts to come into play, this brings on those nice clear skies, which we enjoy for our Saturday. Makes perfect Saturday game day weather or just outdoor weather, period. Behind that, you start to see this cold front move on in. As it does, this approaches us into our Sunday afternoon, bringing in unsettled weather behind it. So rain chances for our valley floors and high elevation snow. So for tomorrow, it is nice. Yes, we don't have those rain chances till Sunday, 12 o'clock. You're sitting at about lower 50s, mid 60s as you head into the afternoon ahead. So just giving you a look at the forecast, you've got mid 60s into your Sunday, next week 50s, and then we return your seasonable by Thursday and Friday. Okay, let's get you a look now at your roads.
The Idaho News 6 traffic report is brought to you by Champion Windows.
Okay, your time is about 6:51, and we are giving you a live look of downtown. And as we start to make your way out this morning, you've got Caldwell to Garrity at 12 minutes, Garrity into Eagle just under 7, and Eagle into downtown Boise also coming in at 7 minutes this morning.
Now we'll look outside from the Treasure Valley Chevy Dealers Tower Cam.
Thanksgiving is next month. Don't wait until the last minute to start shopping.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it's the savings that won't gobble up your wallet.
This is a really, really good deal. This is a huge piece of turkey that's seasoned with stuffing at the bottom, green beans, butter, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, butter. This thing is so heavy, and then there's also gravy at the bottom here. $42.
The retailer's giving consumer deals right now for the Thanksgiving holiday and the spots you might not think of.
I would not be surprised if we see, value offers related to the Thanksgiving holiday. People spend around occasions, things that spark joy, that reckon nostalgia. So it's smart to get in on that occasion game, and I wouldn't be surprised if quick service did so.
And coming up at 7 a.m., I'm live in a cranberry bog with your GMA First Look. I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
All right, on a Friday, it's 5 minutes before the hour, and we're starting to wrap things up here on Good Morning Idaho. In case you missed it, though, here are some of the top stories that we're following from our neighborhood reporters.
Imagine showing up to a yard sale and leaving with the keys to the whole house. That's what happened to one young family in Emmett, thanks to an affordable down payment assistance program. I'm your Emmett neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, learning why Gem County Housing is attracting new home buyers.
Recent market data from Boise Regional Realtors shows Gem County's median single-family home price around $435,000 as of September, significantly lower than Ada County's $555,000.
We take a closer look on what's on the line with the open space levy. Burn! The city of Boise has had 2 previous levies, and they used those funds to help preserve 15 different reserves, giving everybody an opportunity to recreate in the foothills when otherwise those areas could have been sold and developed to the highest bidder.
At Boise State, how this new dorm hall is helping the growing university keep up with the demand for on-campus housing. As Idaho News 6 reported, the university broke ground on the 100,000 square foot building in fall 2023. Now it's home to 452 students who get to wake up every day in the center of campus.
Nice looking dorm, and of course you can learn more about all these stories on our website. Just head to idahonews6.com.
Now, the Out the Door forecast, brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors.
Okay, everybody, happy Friday. Don't forget the jacket while you head out to work or school this morning. 40s as you head out into your 9 a.m. By lunchtime, mid-50s. And then we stop at the mid-60s this afternoon. So just at seasonable. We'll see some breezy winds throughout the Friday ahead, so make sure you carry the jacket with you through the day. All right, let's get you ready now for your morning commute.
The Idaho News 6 traffic report is brought to you by Champion Windows.
Okay, it is 6:57 and we are giving you a live look of downtown where everybody's ready to head on to their Friday and tackle the day ahead. Here's also a look at I-84 at Garrity. It actually looks pretty pleasant out there right now, which is usually not the case for that area. Haven't seen too much commotion on the roads just yet. It's still pretty quiet out there. It looks like we've got some sleepyheads this morning, and if you're traveling from Caldwell into downtown, you've got just under 29 minutes. Already a good start to the Friday.
I will say, coming in this morning, I saw a driver stop by a cop who was headed the opposite direction on the interstate.
I saw that too. I was really confused by that.
I was like, how did that happen? I'm glad he was stopped. All right. Hey, we're excited about this bogus space. And I know it looks dry. It looks like the middle of summer right here, but pretty soon it's going to be covered with snow.
I am so excited. I'm ready.
Pass?
I have my pass. I need to go pick it up, and I know they've been stressing that because you can't go up with your old pass.
No, and you don't want to go try and get that up at the top of the mountain. You got to get it down at the office down below.
Yeah, I just need to learn how to wax my board. I'm ready for the snow, though.
Oh, just take it to someone else to have it hot waxed.
But I want the experience of waxing it.
Okay. I know you like to experience it all.
Yeah.
Hey, before you know it, there'll be snow here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later on.